So Owen Roddy came out, and Owen Roddy's just this fantastic stand-up mixed martial arts coach, boxing coach in Ireland, works with Conor McGregor. So coach came out and he said that Conor McGregor's preparation for Cowboy Cerrone is extremely structured and regimented, unlike sporadic training like we had for Khabib Nurmagomedov. Most people interpreted that, and all we have is an interpretation, guys. I don't have the right answer for you, but many people interpreted that to say, yeah, Conor was so successful going into the Khabib fight, and he had just come off the Mayweather and, this great big payday. That was a great payday, largely embellished, but this great big payday, and he was just distracted. How do you keep a guy that's this rich, this focused? How do you do that? And that's a very fair topic, and that was made famous from Marvelous Marvin Hagler, who, when he was boxing at his heights, and when it was the time of the true Four Horsemen, Hagler, Leonard, Hearns, Duran, he said, it's very difficult to get out of bed and go running at 5 a.m. when you're waking up in silk pajamas. And that was all he said, but there was a real message in that. And it then became a question in fighting, can a rich man fight? And largely the answer was no. And it really didn't matter if you were Evander Holyfield to Mike Tyson. Guys, Buster Douglas is a fine example. You guys will remember Buster Douglas, and he knocked out Mike Tyson in Tokyo in the biggest upset in sports history, let alone boxing history. When Buster Douglas weighed in for his next fight, who happened to be against Evander Holyfield, he weighed in 49 pounds heavier than he weighed the night that he knocked out Mike. And it was just as simple as he had more distractions. He was less motivated. He had more people thinking he was cool, inviting him to do things, and he didn't have the strength. He didn't have the mental power to stay focused, which ties in with what Marvin Hagler said, which ties in to Coach's comment on Conor, at least interpretation-wise. I will just share with you, while I'm not in Ireland and I don't see what Conor was doing, I also don't buy in that this is fully a cause. I'm talking about his sporadic preparation for Khabib, that was fully a cause of the success that he had with Mayweather. I don't know that I fully buy that. Look, I have to tell you, there was a really big deal made in this sport when Stipe Miocic had defended the heavyweight championship of the world twice. It was a record. It had never been done. By the way, this isn't a thing of folklore. I'm not going back to 1970. I'm not going back to 1870. This just happened a few years ago. This was record-setting. Stipe Miocic, most successful heavyweight fighter of all time. He had defended the belt twice. There is no walk of life in the world, guy, you're ever going to convince me that 2 is a big number. You're just not. But it was still the record. And as much as Stipe deserved credit, I do think you have to stand back and look at that and go, how did the number 2 become a record, an all-time record? And I will tell you, I have my own hypothesis. I don't think it comes with the tens of millions of dollars and the new phony friends you've got, or the distractions and the party you'd rather be at than be at practice. I don't think that it has to do with that. Look, there's a built-in mechanism that's bigger than everybody, which is there is a media tour and a PR wing that comes with the organization UFC that is exclusive for champions. If you win a championship, there is going to be photo shoots that you must go do because now you've got the belt. They need that for press. They need a whole new set of photos for you, just by one example, but now you got to be wearing the belt. So all of a sudden, where do those photo shoots happen? Well, they don't happen in your hometown. They don't come to Ireland in Conor's case to do this for you. You get on the airplane, you go somewhere. Well, now you're living out of a hotel in a different city, which means what? You don't have your coach. You don't have your trainer. It's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, except in reverse. You've now got this level of success, but now you're going to do things differently. You're doing things differently. It just comes with the championship. It comes with the territory. I've seen a couple of guys get around the system. Daniel Cormier comes to mind. When Daniel Cormier started to really get his rub and start to get his shine, he started getting deals with Fox and he started getting deals with ESPN and he's calling fights with the UFC. He's traveling all over. Daniel Cormier brought his coach. UFC didn't pay for that. Fox didn't pay for that. ESPN didn't pay for that. Daniel Cormier invested in himself. He brought his coach. Anywhere he went, he had his coach. He carved out time to go and do his workouts. I used to get in the car with Daniel Cormier at 7:30 in the morning all the time. We'd be headed to set. He already had his workout in. He already did his morning workout, and no matter how late when we got done, his coach took him and put him through another workout. He beat the system. He found a way to beat the system. It took a lot of discipline. It took an investment in himself. This is before he had sprung, and maybe writing some of those checks are a little easier now. This is before all of that. But he invested in himself. I have always maintained that one of the things that is the key to Stipe Miocic's longevity, and even if I want to tease the number and say 2 isn't very many, it's 2 more than I ever did, it's 2 more than any of you did, it's 2 more than any other fighter in the world ever did, which is why he became the record, and I will maintain for you. The fire station in Cleveland is one of the keys to Stipe Miocic's success. I will maintain for you that because he has this set schedule that everybody in the world respects, because it's a dangerous job and he's giving back to his community, and who amongst us wants to be on record questioning a fireman? They left him alone. Stipe had to be at home. He had to sleep in his own bed. He could not go out and do the media tours because he had a set schedule that's something everybody respected, known as the Firehouse. I maintain that schedule and that consistency of sleeping in his own bed, and what's that mean? It means he wakes up and he gets to go to his own gym with his own teammates, with his own coaches. I maintain that's a key to his success. And I will share with you as it pertains to Conor McGregor, well, I don't know. But I don't think that you guys know for sure either. I don't think these stories that we hear of Conor being a wild man out on the town and partying it up, I don't know that those are all true. We've heard about 3 or 4 nights of Conor's entire life where he went out on the town and he partied it up a little bit. I think it's fair to believe that we also heard about every time Conor went out. I don't believe personally that Conor McGregor can go out in Ireland, where he's famous and everybody in the world has a camera with them known as their cell phone, and have that not reach the masses by way of social media. I don't believe the hysteria about Conor being this maniac is true. Can't prove it's not. My own personal opinion is every time Conor ever went out and let his hair down, we heard about it. Then we decided on our own that this is who the guy is and this is all he does every night. I don't think it's true. Either way, his own coaches who have always been very open, maybe that's an Irish thing. I don't know any coaches as candid as Owen or as Coach Kavanaugh. I don't know anybody that is so open about their athletes, and I do think we can take his coach at face value when he says it's consistent and it's structured. And by the way, that's unlike his last fight with Khabib. I think we can take him at his word, and I know that I do